This lighting situation is not ideal, but you know what? It's 3 p.m., so we're filming anyway. Nod your head if you wish you had more time. Like, just in general. In a recent study that I conducted, 100% of my family members would be nodding their head, so I assume that you are too. If you watch my channel, you likely bullet journal or want to start, but I hate to break it to you, bullet journaling takes a lot of time. Today, I wanted to go through 6 different tips to save time with your bullet journal and make spreads faster. Before we get too far into it, if you want to see more bullet journal videos from yours truly, don't forget to go down and hit that little red subscribe button down below. It really helps me out. Also, if you're looking for something in particular, there are always chapters down in the description box, so you can use those if you want to skip around. All right, let's get into the video. So tip number 1 is to schedule time to bullet journal. Now personally, I make all of my weekly spreads on Sundays, so I know that right after church when I come home, the first thing I do is pull out my bullet journal and my markers and start a weekly spread. I have it here because my weeklies always start on a Monday, and I want to make sure that I have enough time to get the spread done, that way I can fill it out and use it for the next week. This type of routine is very important because 1, it makes sure that you have time to make the spread, because that hour or however long it's going to take you is already blocked off in your calendar, and you know you won't have anything else that you have to do during that time. And 2, making a routine like this will help you be motivated to use your bullet journal every week, and you won't ever have to be stressed about not having a weekly spread to put all of your to-dos in. Tip number 2 is to only make spreads you use, and don't just make a spread because it looks pretty. Now, in saying this, I may be a hypocrite because I do on occasion make plenty of spreads in my bullet journal that I just found inspiration off of Pinterest and wanted to recreate. However, if you're trying to save time and make your spreads faster, don't make spreads like quote pages or playlists or trackers if you're not going to use them. Your bullet journal is supposed to be adjustable, so only use the spreads that are actually going to help you. However, if you do have time, I am all for decorating your bullet journal with whatever spreads you want to make. Tip number 3 is reuse themes or layouts from previous weeks. I know some of you are going to kill me when I say this, but it is okay to do the same bullet journal theme twice. I know, it's like outfit repeating, but I promise you it won't kill you. You could probably recreate an old theme from the previous year if you're running out of inspiration, but you need your spreads done for the next month. Specifically too, for weekly spreads, you can use the same layout that you did multiple weeks ago if it really worked out for you. That way you can save your brain power and just make a spread that you know will be helpful throughout the week. Tip number 4 is use a grid spacing sheet or a pre-made stencil when you make your spreads. Grid spacing cheat sheets like this are basically just measurements on a practice sheet. That way you can know exactly how many squares you need to count out to make boxes of a certain size. I like to divide it up into halves, thirds, and quarters because those are usually the divisions that I use when making spreads in my bullet journal. I've also heard of people making stencils. An example could be like a circle tracer, letters, or really just boxes. Honestly, okay, I don't know. I don't use stencils, but if it works for you, go for it. Tip number 5 is to batch your weekly spreads. And the easiest way that I can explain this to you is with a Dutch door. Basically, the purpose of a Dutch door is to cut one of the pages in half. That way the page flap is only half the width of the journal and you can see 2 spreads at once. Dang, this is so hard to explain. I like to make weekly spreads with Dutch doors though when I know that the next couple of weeks are going to be super busy, and so if I just make the 2 weeks at once, then I won't have to worry about making a new weekly spread when the next week comes around. I've also heard of certain creatives who do 1 weekly spread for the entire month, and that way by the time September 1st hits, all the days for the week all the way up to September 30th is already marked out in their bullet journal, and if they have any tasks they have to plan ahead of time, there's already a specific box where they can write that down. And tip number 6, which is probably the most exciting part for me because it has to do with decorating, and that is using stickers and washi tape. Am I going to use this opportunity to plug my own shop? Of course I am. So my shop, Mingoprint, is an Etsy shop, linked down below as always. I like to draw stickers and washi tape. However, there are other sticker shops out there, and if you like to make your own stickers, that absolutely works too. But I just find that using stickers and washi tape is a lot quicker than having to draw and color and ink all these different doodles all over your spreads. Side note, you could also go and make a weekly spread without drawing or doodling anything at all. I know it's crazy. Weekly spreads and bullet journal spreads don't have to look pretty. They can just simply be productive, and if that works for you and saves you time, that might be the method you need to take. And yeah, that's pretty much it. 6 tips for saving time with your bullet journal that hopefully will help you make your spreads faster and more efficiently. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content from me, don't forget to go down and hit that subscribe button and join the fam. Also like this video because engagement. Next week, I'm posting my October bullet journal setup with some Halloweeny spooky things, so if you want to see that, don't forget to stick around. In the meantime though, check out this video where I showed y'all a tour of my Notion, or possibly this one where I planned out a bullet journal theme in less than 10 minutes. Now that's fast. Did I just add this picture in the back here because I feel like the background is too boring and I wanted to spice things up a little bit? Yes, I did. Freaking eyelash. Get out of my eye! Now that's fast. Now that's fast. Now that's fast. Oh gosh. Voiceover me needs to make better jokes.
I can see it on your face. You ain't been feeling away. You're getting kind of dismayed. Feeling dismayed is kind